What is up, people? How's it going? Hopefully all. Right, so I had a frame drop. Hopefully this is because of a bad network connection. I'm currently in the process of relocating my place, so the entire network is kind of looking not so great. I'll probably try to stream as much as possible from here. Check, check. Super sorry, guys. Hope you guys are now able to hear me fine. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. All right, so cool. Yeah, I think I'm back. Sorry again for the short delay. The streaming is not proper because of I don't have a proper network connection. Like I don't have the entire network up and running. It does drop rates at times. I'm looking to fix it at the earliest. I'll do that probably in the next live stream. I wanted to come here live today to discuss few things. Hopefully this thing's fine. Just quickly, sorry again for the delay. Just quickly want to make sure that my voice is clear. Are you guys able to hear me clearly? And if the video is running fine without any drops, just a couple of those things, if you guys can confirm here, I'll be able to continue. Let me quickly get a confirmation and I'll continue, and we can continue probably. I'll reduce this sound probably. Yeah, cool. I guess I've gotten all good. Once again, I'll confirm the sound section is fine. Yes, the sound is fine. The audio is full. Cool. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thanks again. I'll continue right now. All right. All right, awesome. So we do have few questions. So the first question from Moons White is how to learn backend for Flutter. I'm new in programming. How I have to learn Java first? No, the Java is not the only requirement here. So you gotta understand that when you say backend, you mean building a server, building a database, and dropping that, or maybe connecting it to Flutter. If that's the requirement, Java is not a requirement at all. Programming languages doesn't guarantee you learn backend. It's just that you need to understand what and how a server works, and once you do that, you have a lot of options, basically from Python to Node.js to this TypeScript servers that you can build. You can even, maybe if you learn Java, you can build a JSP Java server, things like that, right? So that's how the entire thing is going to work. So my suggestion will be to, if you want to learn backend just for Flutter, there are a few things that are already taken care of. Especially you can just go and use the plug and play Firebase itself as a backend. It actually has its own server, and if the requirement is just use a database only, you can use a Firebase real-time database. So things like that are there. But unless, I mean, let's say that you want to build your own server, then in that case you will uh, probably you'll go ahead and start using something else. You'll start learning. My suggestion will be Python first of all. But if you're not somebody who knows or understands or who likes Python itself, if you're somebody who wants to have an in-depth understanding of, or if you want something to learn for a good period of time, I would suggest start learning a JavaScript and learn Node.js and understand how a single server or single file system server works. And that will be my suggestion. And if you really want to learn something based on Java, there are few things that are out there. Like you will be able to learn Java and then use Java to learn few server side scripting frameworks. And like again, there is a huge array of things that you can get out of just with the word server alone. If you're somebody who wants to learn or do it only for Flutter, I would probably recommend you guys to, or you to specifically look into Firebase and get done with it, because at the end of the day, Flutter is just going to use something to put data, get data, and things like that. And if it doesn't need to do that, if you really need to learn, if you want to build a server to probably, I don't know, probably if you want to build server for specifically doing something in the backend, right, then you can think about learning Python or Node.js for your server side scripts. All right, cool. So next is Rahul. Hi Rahul, how's it going? And Jatin Bavarwa. So Jatin asks best 55-inch TV. I don't know, man. I don't know TV. I seriously don't know. I don't have a 55-inch TV. Awesome, cool. So Rahul has suggest project for resume and on-campus placement preparation strategy. So I do have a video for that. Hopefully you did take a look into that. So my suggestion will be to start off something that you're comfortable with. Let's say that it completely depends on the time till you are going to take up your placement. So let's say that you want, or you have about a year to till your placements are going to start, and there are few things that you can do within that year. Let's say there is two years till your placements, or year and a half till your placements. There are a few good things that you can do within that 1.5 years of, or 18 months of time. But it all depends on how you want to do it and what you really want to do it. My suggestion will be always, I do paid consultations at times. I take up few people, I inspect their resume or give my suggestions for the resume and how you can connect it and how you can change it and things like that. And most of the time I tell people who I actually sit down for consultation with that do not do this only for the sake of placement. Because if you do it something, if you're planning a complete strategy for just the sake of getting placed into a company, the interviewer will obviously see through you in no time. Basically, he'll tell you, you've written or you've done all of these things just for the sake of placement, and probably you're not the candidate that we are looking for. If you really want to get placed into top product companies, especially the Google, the Microsoft, and Amazon, the few things that you need to do, which is to probably learn the concepts very well. And on the process of learning this, or during this process of learning these concepts, you can obviously pick up or do a few projects along the way. And my suggestion will be to obviously start off with something that you're comfortable with. Pick up your stream. Most people say start with data structures. My suggestion will not be about data structures. Yes, data structures is going to be the basics, but if you really are well versed, or if you're really interested in building mobile applications, just start with that. If you're really interested in building a website, start with that. Or if you're somebody who just wants to learn more about networking, or you just want to learn few things about building few things around networking, start with that, right? So obviously the whole idea behind this is to start with what you're comfortable with, and from there on you reach for a goal. Basically, I would suggest in your 18 months of time, if you have 18 months of time, you got to come out with at least 5 different projects that you are really excited about. You just have to go and do it, right? Hopefully my suggestion will to start you with is to start building few things that you're comfortable with. Maybe Flutter, maybe React Native, maybe Android itself. Build a very simple application, and once you're done with that, take a look into few other things that you can do with the application, and from there on you can build up till your placements. And during this entire months that you're preparing or building for your placements, you'll obviously learn few things along the way. There are different technologies that are out there. You'll obviously be googling your entire time, and you'll just learn, you'll pick up few things that are along the way, and that will definitely be very, very useful for you. So that's my entire suggestion. There aren't like much on starting point. So if you really want me to give you the project itself, like where do you start, what is the project, and how do you pick up project ideas, you can watch my videos, right? There are tons and tons of websites, and there are tons and tons of videos around that as well, like where do you start, what are the projects that you can concentrate on, from beginners to advanced to medium, all these things, what are different projects that you can do and things like that. So probably you can start from there, and that's going to be very useful for you in the long run. Hopefully that answers your question. Awesome. So Rush Vagasi, I remember you from the last stream as well. Thanks again for your super chat, and I remember you very well. Rush. Moonswide again asks, provider state management is difficult to understand. How to practice for new in programming? Don't stress in the first place. You don't have to understand everything about everything. Probably you will not understand few things along the way. That's how you look at all these different concepts. And at the end of the day, what you need to do is, if you're finding some concept, especially with respect to programming, with respect to building design systems and system designs and things like that, if you're finding something difficult, it doesn't mean that you are dumb enough and not understand it. It means that you're using some material that is making it super difficult for you to learn. So I would suggest you to start understanding it in the simplest of terms as possible, and from there on you can build on. Provider state management is not very complex things to learn, but if you really want to know or how that it works, you try to understand something before that. What was the reason for provider state management to be created? What does it really try to solve? What is the problem statement it is trying to address? And when you have a problem solution kind of a learning, you'll probably find it very easier. So that's pretty much my advice for you. So along this way, probably if you are going to spend another 5 years to 10 years of your learning, you're going to in your 5 to 10 years of programming, you will learn a lot of different concepts. Most often you will find few things not even making sense, like what was it created for, like what is the purpose of this. That's how you will always be feeling. My suggestion will be to just not stress too much on it. If it doesn't make much sense, if you feel like something else is working fine for you, you just drop it and just continue working. And when you hit a problem and when somebody gives that solution, that's when you try to understand much better. So that should be a problem, and you need to try to address that problem, and that's when you learn better as well. That's my suggestion. Rahul again asks, I want unique project ideas. I'm comfortable with any technology and I have 6 months in my hand. I already have some mini projects. Alright, so you want unique project ideas. The difficulty with unique project ideas is, for me, I think something's unique and you will not. So I'll try to point you towards the direction that might help you very well, right? My first suggestion will be to start looking into cryptos, maybe cryptocurrencies and digital coins and things like that. There are tons and tons of ways that you can integrate a very simple thing like a crypto into your idea. You could build a tracker, you could build an exchange itself, or you can even build a coin swap kind of a technology around that. It could be a website, it could be it could even be something with respect to a mobile application. Now if you really want something completely unique, right, you try to address a problem. Most often than not, that problem might already be addressed, and you really need to think in terms of the problems that you are facing along the way. Could be something with respect to your college, something with respect to you itself in your community, could be something that you're facing in your house. Few problems that you find already, maybe you can start with that. And if you really want to, like, again, I did talk about few unique project ideas in my couple of live streams earlier. You could do something like Uber for a bicycle, right? Why not Uber for bicycle? Probably you can do few things along that way, and also delivery systems that can be done, like delivering one item to another, and you can just build a very simple unique system that will deliver any type of product. Let's say that I have a gift that I want to give to somebody out there, and you can build a system where I am going to just buy this gift and give it to a delivery guy, and this delivery guy will probably go and find one lucky customer and give this delivery to. It's more of a way of sharing things in an anonymous fashion, right? You do things on the website all the way. Like there are few websites that connects people, in an anonymous fashion, and you just chat with them, you do a video call and things like that. Similarly, we'll do something with respect to a physical gift itself. So you buy something maybe for $50 and you want to just give it as a anonymous gift to somebody, and you just build a delivery system that does basically the technology behind that will be to connect people in anonymous fashion. So probably those things can be exciting. It is exciting for me. I'm not really sure how it is unique and exciting for you, and that's what the problem here is. To the solution is to solve a problem. It could be something that you're facing in your college. I was trying to help few people, or I was trying to judge a hackathon which is completely online, and during this hackathon there are few amazing ideas that came in, and one that really caught my attention was this system that this guy has built, through which you can submit and probably submit your coding projects. Basically, let's say I have a coding assignment to submit, and this system will help you upload your coding assignment. It will automatically run that coding assignment, find any bugs, and send it to the teacher. Basically, it'll be like a precursor, or maybe check that runs on the coding assignment, and then sends the output to the professor. And the professor, all he has to do is just check what are the errors that are throwing out there, and from there he can just give suggestions to the student, or he can grade the student based on the assignment and things like that. So all of these are different ideas that the student tries to solve from what he's facing around. So probably that's how you should start, and that's my recommendation to you as well. Hopefully that helps. So you do have, I guess, 6 months is a good amount of time, and if you're already done, I would say probably few mini projects, right? It's obviously going to be very, very helpful, and my suggestion will be to just wait for few, like, find that one thing that is difficult for you, and use that to probably help. One second, I am trying to. What exactly is very so Rizvi Computer Code says that it is good to hear, but very difficult to, or difficult to do. Like, what exactly is difficult to do and what is good to hear? Do you mean the project idea that I gave? It is possible, definitely, and if you are given the time to do it, you can definitely do it. That's my suggestion as well. So there are definitely few things that you can pick up in terms of coding ideas and things like that. The simplest way, or the best way to do, like, find projects, is expand on something that's already there. My mini project, or my final year project, when I was doing my bachelor's of engineering, my project was already out there. It was the home assistant, right? You have Alexa, which is home assistant, you have Google Home Assistant, and the smart autos things are already there. Like, you ask for the lights to be switched on, it turns the switch lights on. If you ask, hey Google, or okay Google, turn or maybe I would say turn off my microwave, or say turn off my fan, it turns off your fan, and things like that, right? And my project was nothing more than this. Rather, what I did was to connect a stream of things. Basically, if somebody says, hey, I am home, it will automatically turn on the light, it will automatically turn on probably my hot water geyser, turns on my microwave oven as well, and it will probably kind of a collection of smart home automation things, right? Smart home things. And that was my final year project idea. It was a project submission. What I did on top of that was that was actually one of my project that I used for my resume as well, and people are finding it really, really good. And in probably a month's time after I talked about, I didn't do much research about it, but there are already projects similar to that that was out there, but people did find it unique. It does not always have to be like a unique startup idea for you. Rather, it can be as simple as finding it useful. What are you trying to solve, right? What is the problem that you're trying to solve, and that can be very very helpful, and that can actually even help you get a good job, or we can land you that resume that you need to do. Hopefully that was helpful. Here is we I'm not very comfortable with Hindi. Probably I can understand Hindi a bit, but I'm not really sure if I'm understanding it right. If you can convert it into English input, I understand that you're asking me to make that video. I have already made that video. There's already videos on project ideas that are out there. If you really want me to make a video itself, or if you really want me to, like, I don't understand what your question is here. So if you can put it in English, I'll be very happy to like understand and convert it and probably to help you with it. Okay, so primarily the Android applications that are built using whatever is being built with Android, or sorry, whatever is being built with Java and XML, uh, is actually being asked to be converted into Kotlin. So people are trying to, it's called as migrating, right? The migrating languages. So Google itself is taking the effort to ask the developers to migrate to Kotlin, because Android wants to run with Kotlin rather than Java and XML. It is saying that, yeah, you have done your work, yeah, Java and XML has done its work, but Android apps are now going to be based completely on Kotlin only. So that's what is happening at the moment. The percentage would be about 40% of Kotlin, probably another 40% of Android, and 20% of cross platform. That's probably the app market right now. It does change, like it's constantly changing. It wasn't this number a couple of years ago. So people are moving towards Kotlin, and that's what is happening, because that's what the company also wants. It's not like people want to use Kotlin. Google itself recommends using Kotlin because it's the language for the platform. That's what they say. Hopefully people start moving towards Kotlin, and it will one day be completely running on Kotlin, and Java itself is being, it will get deprecated. All right, so we've been running for about 30 minutes now. I'm going to be continuing. Yes, we can make. So Rizvi asks, can we make Android app through Kiwi MD? Yes, you can definitely make an Android application with Kiwi MD. I have a video on that. Like it didn't work for me, but like again, you can definitely make an Android application with Kiwi MD. So pretty much, yeah. All right. Let's keep it rolling. Okay, Rahul has. Where are you working currently, and which project do you work currently on? So I'm working with the company, the Amazon India. I'm pretty sure you guys know what Amazon is. So I'm working for Amazon India as a software developer engineer, and I'm working currently on the Alexa or the Echo product team. Meaning I work on the Echo device that you see. You say Alexa, right? The Alexa project. I'm working for the entire the organization that I'm working for does work on the Echo or the Alexa products. I work especially on devices, meaning I design. I'm part of the team that designs device or designs the software for the device, and takes care of adding all the features to it, make sure that it is working fine, and ships it to the customer. So that's the entire work cycle that I work on, or the work cycle of the organization that I work for. Yeah, pretty much my projects, that there aren't much, that there aren't project as per se that you say, but it's more of a feature that I work for. So features meaning I work for few features that are like, if you are currently seeing, or if you currently if you use your Echo product device, right, you will find all the different things that are possible with it. You will have your timers that are running, your notifications that are running, and there's a media player, meaning you ask for a song for it to play, it will play for the songs and things like that. So I work on a bunch of things around that. And I do, yeah, pretty much that's my work. There are a lot of things that we do on everyday basis. It's more of an internal software team, so working specifically on the software thing side. Zagaram Tech, hi brother, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. So let's keep it running for probably another 5 to 10 minutes. Hopefully, I guess I just want to do a quick live stream so that I can help you guys with any questions. Probably you guys have been asking me questions on my Instagram, and sometimes I'm not able to answer all of them. So either I'll just come live to answer your questions. And a few things that I'm going to be changing for this channel as well is to start integrating or making a lot of project related videos, meaning I'm going to be coding on live, or probably doing videos and posting it here, maybe not live but probably a delayed live, meaning I'll finish my coding, I'll just maybe then render it and then post it here, because a lot of times I don't have the technology, or I don't have the system heavy enough to do a live stream coding. So that's probably the thing, I'm probably going to concentrate on that. That's amazing. Zakram, hi, how's it going? Python tutorials, yeah, awesome. Keep doing that. Python is an amazing language, big fan of that. And I'm going to be like encouraging anybody who wants to learn Python. It's an amazing language that has vast use cases. There is nothing that you cannot do with Python, in my opinion. And anybody who does learn it is putting so much effort to become good at it. And I'm going to be Flutter versus Kiwi is a very difficult topic to talk about. If I talk about it, people suddenly start shouting from everywhere. If I say Flutter is powerful, people will be okay, fine. If I say Kiwi is powerful, Flutter people will come and bash me left and right. I'm releasing a video tomorrow to answer this question. So basically, I did finish recording that video. Basically, you are asking Flutter versus Kiwi, which is most powerful, right? I do have a video that is coming out tomorrow, which is going to be more around the line of which is my preference for a beginner. What will I prefer, or what will I say to a beginner? What is the first thing I will say? So yeah, pretty much that video is coming out tomorrow. You can see it tomorrow. Flutter is, again, I like that framework itself, but there are few things that there are few not a few there are a lot of things that it does have to take a look into. It's more of a startup at this point of time, and startup versus a community project, that's what I look at. So you will see the answer for this question tomorrow. Moons White again asks, do you provide mentoring for Android? You mean like you want help with coding itself, or you want help with mentoring as in how to learn Android and things like that? I do provide private mentoring sessions. You can either reach out to me on LinkedIn, where I do most of my sessions at. So I'll be contacting you via LinkedIn if you want, or you can also contact me on Instagram as well. So either two of these places are where I'm very much active. So Praveena's future of iOS development. Oh, it's obviously going to be very vast and huge from here on. Just a $1 trillion company that has its own, I would say it has got its own environment. There is nothing there's nothing to lose. It's obviously going to be keeping on moving and growing from here. Probably the future of iOS development will not, it'll obviously be there for your phone, primarily for phone, but also for the accessories. Probably your watch, that is going to be an iOS based, or Apple lenswear, meaning you have an Apple spectacle as well. So things like that are going to be there, obviously, and that's going to be where you can expect to learn, or you can build applications for. Swift is becoming the most used language with respect to iOS developers. But you can, again, if you have good understanding of C sharp, and you can pick that up as well and use it for iOS development. So yes, it's definitely going to go up. There's nothing that can stop iOS at this point of time from becoming a very powerful kind of a environment to build applications for. So Rahul, again, how to start learning cloud technology and Linux? Uh, Again, it does have to start from a point, meaning where do you want to? What is your goal from here? So cloud technology, there are a lot of things that you can do as part of your cloud technology, right? It's not just about hosting a server. That is going to be data analytics that is going to be used. So just do a little bit of understanding, a little bit of research to understand what are the different things that are out there, and find which is your favorite. And from there on, you'll be able to find a lot of starting pages. Like you gotta, like, keep on moving. And once you do that, probably if you keep on moving and you try to understand or try to google your way out, you gotta find what is that one thing that is actually driving you. And it's obviously going to start at some point. uh, often find that, let's say I want to learn. Recently tried to learn Raspberry Pi Debian OS. Like, I wanted to learn how Raspberry Pi works, and I just went to Google and just said, okay, I want to learn Raspberry Pi. I said Raspberry Pi basics, and I did find a ton and ton of websites that are just saying web basics after basics. But all of these were like giving me something that was way basic, or it was like either was it was starting from some point. So what I did was I just picked one out of random. I just did a simple study through what was it saying, like basically what is it going to do, how do I start. And after reading that article, I didn't even register anything. I just didn't even sit down to read. I just kept doing that. I kept reading one article here, one article there. I just did one thing after another, and probably after a week's time I knew few additional things that I did not know 1 week earlier. So that's how we started understanding how Raspberry Pi works. And from there on, I just started understanding how to set it up, how to probably work with it, and how do you do other things with Raspberry Pi. And now probably I would say that I know few. I know a lot of things that I did not know Raspberry Pi without even looking at a structured course. Basically, because the information is scattered everywhere. You a simple walkthrough of all these articles, or watching a simple video during your free time, that's how you start with learning. And once you're done starting with learning, you pick a specific topic with respect to your interest. And from there on, you do a little bit more research, you understand how different things are working, and then you go into a course. That's how I would suggest people to learn, and hopefully that's useful for you. My suggestion would be to find what is your interest, and then you start into that. What are the basic differences between Kiwi and Flutter? There are a lot of differences, starting with the language that is being used for Kiwi. The language is Python versus Dart for Flutter. So that's the primary difference. Again, completely different technology in the background, different engine, different rendering mechanism. Dart uses completely different type of compilation. Kiwi is based on Python, so it's just a top-down compilation. It's completely different. There is no similarity, I would say. There's very less similarity except for the output that you get. Who do shift programming on window? I don't understand your question. Probably you can word it better. How do you shift programming in window? Like, I don't understand. Can you just word it better? I'll be very happy to answer your question. Thanks again. A lot of you people are tuning in right now, and I'll be very happy to answer all of your questions. In case I'm not able to, just drop a comment or question on my Kiwi, drop a question in LinkedIn profile. I'll be very happy to answer. Will Kiwi MD app be as fast as Flutter? If not, why? I don't think Flutter is fast in the first place. I would completely not accept the fact that Flutter is fast. Flutter is a very it's been marketed as being the fastest or fast kind of a application or application builder, but it's definitely not fast. Will Python is Python slow? Yeah, there are few places where Python is slow. Does the Kiwi application that is being used to run for Android, is it slow? I would say it's not. In my opinion, both Kiwi and Flutter are pretty much non-native cross-platform development toolkit. What do you do with it, how do you do with it, and what's the outcome of it? That's completely going to be depending on your use case. And I always say, like, if something that is not native, right? How do you define, or how do you say one is faster than other? Both of them are not going to be obviously faster than the native itself. So I would say that I don't think, or I wouldn't accept the fact that Flutter is fast. So KVMD, Flutter, both of them are equal in my opinion. So I don't have to compare both of them. Any idea about Dart programming launch in future? You mean like, okay, you're asking about Dart programming language in the future. Okay, so tomorrow, like I said for the previous question, I have a video coming out tomorrow. It's just I just finished recording it, and it's primarily my understanding or my opinion about what I have seen over the last couple of years, especially the last 2 years that I've started this channel for, and what I've been talking about, what I've been seeing, the developers that I've met, and things like that. How am I seeing Dart, Flutter versus Python's Kiwi? There you will understand why I am not like very convinced with the Dart's Flutter taking a good position in the years to come. It's kind of like stabilizing at this point of time, primarily because of a company backing with like Google doing most of the work, whereas versus a Kiwi, which is primarily a community based kind of a project. So in my opinion, I would say Dart is definitely been there for over about 10 years now, because it was started as an experimental language back in 2000. I think it was about 2012 it was started, and it was supposed to replace JavaScript. It did not. It could not come near JavaScript. So they struck it down. They put it back into the shelf, and again for Flutter they pulled it back up and wrote something on top of it, and it's being used. So if Dart has to be used as a programming language, there has to be a lot of frameworks built on top of it. There has to be a lot of different things that has to be built on top of it. But at this point of time, people don't find much difference between Dart JavaScript, Dart Python, Dart Java, right? So a lot of people don't find much difference to shift using a complete different programming language. So what is the use of that? And primarily that is the reason why people are still finding it difficult to, or not looking forward, or not finding the need to shift to Dart as a programming language. So that's my understanding at this point of time. I may be wrong. Maybe somebody from the Dart team is watching this video after a few days. They can comment down if that's what is happening. Programming Soul, hello, how's it going? Startup for app developer. So I don't understand. So you are asking for startup for app developer, as in you want to build a startup, or you're looking to go and work for a startup? Like, can you, if you can elaborate on that question, I'll be very happy to continue answering. Hopefully you can, no? Mm-hmm. There are a few things that I'm coming up, obviously. How did you find the iWallet? Did you go check my LinkedIn? I guess I don't know if I have iWallet in. Where did I put iWallet? I don't remember where I put iWallet. And how do you find that iWallet? iWallet was my second year application. I built an application in second year. Basically, it was a voice based application for primarily what you do right now, right? You use Google Pay. Google Pay is like a transacting application, and I just built something completely based on voice alone. And primarily it was actually for an application. It was actually for a competition that we ended up winning. Me and my friend built that application, and we ended up winning primarily because it used few different security protocols that were not like primarily used, and used that security protocol. It's like this security protocol is completely written for text only. What we did was we built a security protocol for voice, and used that to build this application, meaning you can do secure payment with just your voice. You can say, hey, I want to send 50 rupees to this person. So iWallet is basically for people who are blind. Like, there are, if you know, there's something called as a dumb phone, meaning it's called as it is a very simple OS. It does not have much text on it, primarily for blind people. You just say, hey, open this, and you say, hey, I want to listen to the song. You can say something like that, and it'll open that phone, it'll open the application and do things on that. Because those who can't see cannot read text. It's more of like a follow it. It is more of a voice based phone, and for that phone we want to build a payment gateway or payment application, wherein you can store your money, you can send your money and things like that. So that was the whole idea behind that iWallet, and we built a proof of concept. We built an application and a server, secure server for doing the transaction, and we showed how we are able to transact. Meaning, I was able to send money from my account to another person's account, meaning my friend's account, as a demo. So that was the whole idea behind that. Probably my whole that was the whole idea, and it was a working example as well, so we ended up winning that. All right, so let me quickly, I don't know, a lot of questions. Is there any way I can learn creating custom user interfaces in Kiwi as simple as making web designs? Again, that is one of the disadvantages of Kiwi is that it has got a little bit of it does lack in terms of documentation itself. If you want to build custom user interfaces, it's definitely going to be hard work because you got to build it from scratch. And yes, there is definitely ways to do that. There are a lot of widgets that are available that you can build on top of, and as part of my community or my contribution to the community, I'm planning on doing that. Meaning, I'm going to be planning on building few I would say template user interfaces for people to pick up on and work on it. So that's what I'm going to be doing, but it's going to be taking some time. Meaning, if you want to build custom user interfaces, you have to think about it as starting from scratch, like a plain white paper. You got to draw everything from scratch, right? Similar to that, for Kiwi, you got to do it from scratch. Things to learn for Android. There are a lot of things that you got to learn. Starting from, I would say, if you want to build for Android as a mobile application, you got to start with the basics of the app cycle, and it's obviously going to be based on how do you do it, how do you do that, and things like that, right? And once you're done with that, and you will understand how to build applications basically from scratch. You take a hello world application, you build applications, and you understand how the concept works. And Android as such uses Java and XML if you want to go that route, or if you want to use Kotlin is very similar to the object oriented programming that we have been seeing for multiple decades. And that is how you're going to start. Like, there isn't much set way to do it. There are a lot of websites, a lot of videos that are able to give you the step-by-step way to start learning Android. I think probably that can be very helpful for you. But in my opinion, I would say start with understanding how an Android application works. Like, again, go with the problem solution approach. What is the problem that it's trying to solve, and what is the problem that it's being what is the solution that's being given for that problem? And when you do that, that is going to be making it super easy for you to learn. Rahul Bure, is there any GitHub repo for iWallet? I do have the code with me, meaning it's a zipped format. I haven't taken the need, or I haven't done it to upload it to GitHub. I'll probably push it to GitHub and probably share the link back in my LinkedIn. It's a good thing. I completely forgot I even had the project or did that project. How do you ask for password to confirm the transaction? It's basically going to be using your thumb fingerprint, using a fingerprint to confirm that you are the user you doing that. And again, it's going to be voice based, right? So it's going to take the voice that you're going to say. You're going to be saying a password basically in your voice, and probably it's going to match your voice profile, and using the voice profile, it will send an OTP back to your phone, and you will be probably giving another confirmation. That's how security was written for. Like, again, how secure is going to be? What if that blind person, there's somebody standing next to a blind person, and that's a ton of questions around that, like how secure is it going to be, how do you confirm that's the blind person, things like that, right? But again, that's the security protocol that we used, or that's the security protocol that we built first of all, and using that security protocol, we built this application. Is it the best security protocol out there? Probably not. But does it work? It definitely does work. So probably that's how you do it. Which technology? Yes, in the mobile application technology, I built it using Java and XML. So it was an Android application, and for the server side, we used Python to confirm the voice and the fingerprint. Once we got the fingerprint and the voice, we did security matching. I think it was 529, there's a protocol or the certificate that you need to get for the payment gateways to work. So if a payment gateway wants to send money from one location to another, it needs a certificate, and in order to get that certificate, you need to confirm or give it a password which is going to be text based, and you got to give it an OTP. Primarily at that time, I think about 5 years ago, it was just your password, and yeah, it was primarily your password. So what we did was, we used, instead of password, we replaced it with fingerprint and voice based kind of a voice based matching text, oh sorry, it was a voice based profile matching. And using that, we sent we asked for the certificate, and once we got the certificate from the payment gateway, the transaction was made. So that was taken care of in the background in the server, which was run with Python and Django. Alright, so Advia asked make a video on how to create animations in Kiwi. Definitely, I'm going to be doing that. This month is going to be packed with both server-side technology as well. I'm making a video series on something called a fast API, and I'm going to be talking about how to build your fast API REST service and linking that with your Kiwi application. So along with that, I'll also target on building good animations. Like you can build like a startup animation with probably Kiwi. You can do few button animations with Kiwi and things like that. I'll try to cover as part of this month's video cycle. Yes, definitely try to do that. Yeah, I'll try to definitely do that. I do have the code in a very, because at that point of time, like yeah, I don't know, I don't think that much was available. Everything was in the form of a zipped file. Yeah. Yes, live Ethiopia, definitely I'll be doing a lot more Kiwi MD tutorials this month. Target primarily more along the lines of probably helping with backend as well, like how do you connect with the backend, things like that as well. Hopefully that is very informative. Like we just now finished the Firebase series, or like how do you connect with the Firebase. Next is I'll try to connect with the server that you build on yourself, build by yourself, and use that to connect with your Kiwi MD applications. Target more around that as well. So yes, I am a software developer. Yeah. And Rahul, like, also send a GitHub ID. You can find my GitHub ID. It should be there in my videos. It's a video description. Let me quickly check, or else I'll check it here. I don't have much of things going around in my GitHub, primarily because my old GitHub account, I forgot the password for the GitHub account, and I forgot the username for the GitHub account as well. My older account had few websites that I built, few Android applications that I built, and primarily that's it. So I didn't want to spend so much amount of time on that. So few open source things that I have built is actually in a new GitHub ID. I'll try to find it and put it in my LinkedIn so that people can view it. If not, it should be part of my YouTube description. Any video you take, it should be there in the description. Live Ethiopia, do you have a CS degree? Yes, I have a bachelor's of engineering computer science degree and few other certificates, but nothing much other than that. Everything is self-taught. Alright, so we're running for more than 50 minutes hopefully, and a lot of you people have tuned in, and thanks again for taking your time to do that. Very happy to see a bunch of I'd say a lot of interest around Kiwi. Kiwi is a very tight library, and it's got an amazing community as well. I'm going to be trying to contribute as much to this amazing people. Hopefully that's useful for everybody out there. No, I can ask you, should I build web view applications? To be very honest, right, web view applications are not that fluid compared to native. What you have to do is build an hybrid application. So wherever is web view useful, you plug in your web view. Wherever your native is going to be very useful, you plug in your native. That's the hybrid approach, is what is going to like build a very good application compared to one way of building it. How you became a software engineer? So I did study computer from my high school. I had a very good passion for learning computer science, and I'd been studying computer from my high school, meaning I guess you are from Ethiopia, so that's why your channel is Ethiopia. So like, let's assume like in India we have a very simple In India we have a 11th and 12th, meaning we have a high school degree, similar to high school degree. We have education, and I've been studying computer science from that time. And after that, I took up a computer science based program, which is a 4-year bachelor's of engineering program. And once I completed with that, during that time I was just working on my resume, building my portfolio, and freelancing and doing everything possible to learn more about computer science. And I took up a job as a software developer. So nothing as such, like there wasn't much of a change or shift. Everything has been like a traditional learning, starting with computer science, learning computer science, and then after that took a computer science based bachelor's of engineering degree, and I've now become a computer science engineer. So yeah, that's pretty much how I became. So yeah, you can definitely do that, Rahul. So Rahul asks, like, can I create something similar to iWallet using Kiwi? You can definitely do that. Probably, yeah. It's nothing, like, again, like I said, it's nothing. Probably there is already an application out there. Probably 5 years ago, there was something similar to that. I don't know if it has grown into a startup or not. But again, you can definitely do that if you're really interested to pick it up. If you really want help, you can ping me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to assist you in what to do. And yeah. All right, amazing. It's been running for about 55 minutes. Hopefully, I did talk some. I did provide some useful information during this time, and yeah, let's wrap this up. Hopefully, if you guys don't have any other questions, it's going to be about 7 o'clock in India right now. So hopefully, oh, the question is, Rahul, you want to build it using Kiwi or Kotlin? I suggest either of the two, because the front end or the application itself is not going to do much. The server is going to do everything. It's the front end, or the application is just going to get the Y sample and send it to the server. It's going to get the fingerprint sample, send it to the server. Server is going to process it. So that's pretty much how you do it. So it doesn't matter. Kiwi, Kotlin, React Native, Flutter, doesn't matter. You can still build it. The application is just for the sake of user interaction. What programming languages have you learned? Starting with C++, that's where I started, and following that in my college I learned, again, it was again C++ natively. Every concept or data structure was taught with C++ as the language. And after that I took an interest for web-based languages, so I did the usual stuff like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And for server I learned Node.js. So that was my stack that I used when I was in college. And post that, in my first intern, I picked up Java as a language to build frameworks. And after that, again, there's been a need to learn few other things as well along the way. I learned React, so I learned TypeScript as well, and using the TypeScript I learned few other frameworks. And now primarily I've been working with Python for the last 4+ years. So that's pretty much my language profile, if you ask me. Few other frameworks that I've learned as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So how I see it is, what was the need during that time and what did I learn? That's pretty much how I see it. There isn't much like I learned all of these languages and I'm a master of all of these languages. Nothing like that. I'm good at the technology, or I'm good at what or how to create the technology, and I'm using language as just as a tool to do that. And pretty much I've been able to navigate uh, my career. All right, awesome, guys. So I guess time to wrap this entire thing up. It's been running for over 55-60 minutes. And thanks again for everybody for tuning in. Hopefully, if you guys have any other extra questions that you guys need to ask, hit me up on LinkedIn, and also hit me up on Instagram. And let me take the final question. How much time you have spent learning Python? The basics took me about 6 months, and post that it's still a learning curve for me. Python is a learning curve for everybody. It's new things are coming in, so it's a learning curve, obviously, but 6 months is enough to learn the basics and start working on it professionally. And you can pick it up from there and build applications, learn how different things work, how your different data design patterns work, and things like that, and you navigate through that probably. All right, hopefully, thanks again, guys. I think it's time to wrap up. Hopefully I was useful and informative for everybody out there. I'll see you guys in the next probably next live stream. Do continue watching all of my KVMD videos, and there are a few other things that are going to be coming out as well, so in the upcoming months. So let me see you guys